What's up everybody, and welcome to another edition of AGR's Pop Culture Reviews. Now before I begin the show, I just want to thank all the subscribers and everybody who supports the show and all the kind words that you guys give me. I don't say this enough, but I really appreciate it, and you guys are really what makes this show run. So just for some programming updates, I'm going to be doing a lot of the CW inspired superheroes, particularly from the DC. And you have to admit that the CW has been doing some amazing things with these characters, more so than their big screen counterparts. I've said that before, and I think it's universally agreed that the TV series are pretty awesome. Now I have to say I'm really impressed with Melissa Benoist's version of Supergirl, but Grant Gustin's Flash is truly amazing, and it was cool to see when they cross over. I actually got this piece about 4 weeks ago, and it's been sitting on one of my shelves. I just hadn't gotten around to it, but we're definitely going to do it now. Today we're going to be reviewing Diamond Select Toys' version of The Flash, the TV version. Let's take a closer look. Now you guys know that Diamond Select Toys has been doing some really amazing things with these licenses, and this is no exception. I was really excited about this piece, and they did a remarkable job, especially given this price point. Just take a look at that amazing head sculpt. It is beautiful. That is Grant Gustin for sure. There's a lot of detail there. I love the color palette, especially that kind of muted red, very reminiscent of what we see in the series. It's very well done, guys, and this thing just screams presence. This remarkable attention to detail definitely extends to the midsection of this piece, and I think this is where it really shines. I love the different textures there, particularly on his arm. I also love how realistic the costume looks in that leather effect, but most importantly, there's a lot of subtle details, especially when it comes to the wash, and if you can see, the insignia looks fantastic. It's slightly raised. I love that there's these kind of burned marks or carbon scarrings on the chest, which really simulates this nice effect that he just came out of a speed run. Hands down, the coolest thing about this piece is definitely those little electrical bolts that can be found throughout the entire piece. It really gives it a sense of 3-dimension. I mean, it just looks so freaking awesome. I'm also very glad that they kept the color palette very muted on this piece. It doesn't look cheesy or cartoony, it actually looks a little bit more realistic because of it. From a design standpoint and overall art direction, they did something pretty unique with this piece, and something that not all pieces can get away with. They did something really wonderful in terms of the way they have this piece levitating. The stance is really awesome, and of course it's attached to the base, but the illusion is perfect that he's kind of floating, and again, either going into or about to come out of a speed run, and it is amazing, guys. And as you can see, those electrical bolts are found even on the lower section of this piece. It's a great job. Without question, this is definitely a piece that you're going to want to mirror if you have the ability, because it looks fantastic on the reverse side. Not only do you get a really detailed version of the reverse side in terms of the costume, but you also see those wonderful electrical bolts a little bit more clearly. And perhaps one of the most impressive things is you get a sense of the overall engineering and thought that went into this piece. Now, I didn't mention this before, but on the reverse side, you can really see how there is a nice sense of verticality with this piece, so definitely mirror it. You know, I've noticed that Diamond Select Toys is really putting a lot more thought into the bases for these pieces, and for this price point, it's pretty remarkable. They're getting increasingly more intricate, and this one is absolutely spectacular. I love the design here, and it really goes with the overall piece. The color palettes look great. I especially like the styling here. Most importantly though, it is a very small footprint relative to the piece, and again, that's always a good thing when we think about real estate on our shelves. Really great job. I love what they did here. Guys, this is an easy one for me. Given the intricacy of the sculpt and how well it represents what we see on the show, and definitely for the price point, this is easily a holy grail piece. And even though it's relatively available now, don't let that fool you guys. This one is going to be harder and harder to find the longer you wait to pick it up. Now before I go, I just want to thank the folks over at Big Bad Toy Store for sending this wonderful piece over for review, and if you're interested in this and other collectibles, please visit www.bigbadtoystore.com. Alright everybody, so that's my official review on Diamond Select Toys' version of The Flash, the TV version. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next AGR's Pop Culture Reviews.